Estudiantes, este es Mr. Señor. I'm going to go over, I'm going to find the slide. There we go. We're going to go over ER-IR conjugations for the imperfect tense. Last week we learned the AR verbs, which is all of the ABAs. Now we're going to learn how to conjugate ER-IR verbs and the two irregular verbs that we are going to study for the imperfect tense. The imperfect tense is used to talk about what someone was doing in the past, the ing. It's when an action started in the past and continued happening, ing. Our ER-IR verb conjugations are ia, should be ias. Oh, goodness gracious, what the heck happened here? Ias, ia, iamos, and ian. The good news is, just like with AR verbs, if you know one, you know them all. I like to say the abas and the ias, you know one, you know them all, because if you know that yo is ia, two would then be ias with an s. La, ia, nosotros iamos, just like every other verb tense that we've learned, nosotros ends in mos, and ian, the eos, eas forms always end in n. To give an example, yo comía la galleta. I was eating the cookie. Com is the stem for eat. The ia ending tells us that it means was eating and not ate. We have two irregular verbs. This makes our lives a lot easier. The preterite tense, we learned last year 18 or 19 different irregular verbs for the preterite tense. The imperfect has 3. We're only learning 2. The one that we're missing is the verb ver, to see, but very seldom will you ever say I was seeing. You won't, you're just not going to say it. So there's no reason to teach it. And if you were to read it, you would know what it meant anyway, because it looks very similarly to the way it regularly looks. The verb ser means to be. Anytime you're going to describe something in the past, give a description, you are going to use ser, and you're going to use it this way, because we've learned the other way to say ser in the past, but you're very seldom going to use that. This is the one that you're going to use in your stories. To say I was, yo era. You were, tú eras. He was, él era. We were, nosotros éramos. Ellos eran. It's going to pop up once I move my cursor. Now, this is another case of you know one, you know them all. Because if you know that yo is era, I was, then you should be able to conjugate the rest of them. To give a description in the past, here's an example. He was a good boy. Él era un muchacho bueno. Or you could say, buen muchacho. It doesn't matter what order you put that in. But anytime we're going to describe a person in the past, we're going to use era. This one's a little more complicated, but not by much. Ir means to go to in Spanish. In the imperfect, the translation would be was or were going to, and we'll need another verb to tell what they were going to do. I was going to is yo iba a. You were going to ibas a. She was going to, ella iba a. We were going to, nosotros íbamos a. And they were going to, ellos iban a. This conjugation, so the imperfect tense for ir, to go to, is likely going to be used in stories. I don't know how useful it's going to be in the other tasks. So just keep that in mind, that this is very particular to what we're learning right now. If you have any questions, you can email me at gmakoski@nrwcs.org.